Ms. Stone, call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. This state would call Officer Chavez. May I step out?
You may. Members of the jury, if you'd like to stand briefly while we're waiting for the next witness, you're welcome to do so. Come forward, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be true and correct? I do. Please be seated. Looks like everyone is seated again, so you may inquire when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, I'm Officer Chavez.
Good morning.
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
My name is Tori Chavez, C-H-A, V as in Victor, E, Z as in zebra.
Thank you. And Officer Chavez, I'm going to ask you to move just a little bit closer to the microphone if you don't mind. And if you need to adjust it, it moves, okay? Officer Chavez, are you employed?
I am.
How so?
I'm employed with the Lacey Police Department.
Okay. What do you do for the Lacey Police Department?
I'm employed as a police officer on the patrol schedule.
Okay. And how long have you been employed with the Lacey Police Department?
I was hired in September of 2023, and I received my commission in June of 2024.
And is that all of your time in law enforcement?
It is.
Okay. Can you describe your training and experience, please?
Yes, I have a Bachelor of Arts with an emphasis in Japanese language. I completed the Washington State Basic Law Enforcement Academy, which is 720 hours training, including criminal law, criminal investigation, collisions, first aid. I've also completed a 8-hour deaf awareness workshop, a 32-hour course in drone operations, and recently a 16-hour interview course.
And as a patrol officer, what do you do? What are your duties?
My duties are I'm assigned to a specific area of Lacey, whether it's north, central, or south. I'm responsible for answering calls of service. Could be anywhere from just answering phone calls for public service, answering questions about Lacey municipal codes, Washington state laws, doing investigations into burglaries, thefts, also in doing traffic enforcement.
Okay. And were you employed by the Lacey Police Department then in October of 2024?
I was.
And were you working or on duty on October 18th, 2024 at approximately 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
I was.
Did you become involved in an investigation occurring at Timberline High School on that day?
I did, yes.
Is that at 6121 Mullen Road Southeast in Lacey, Washington?
I believe so, yes.
And did you go to that location?
I did.
Who did you, if anyone, go to that location with?
I went with my field training officer, Officer Bell.
What is a field training officer?
They're responsible for making sure that once we graduate academy, we meet the requirements that the Lacey Police Department has for new entry-level officers. So with him, he was my phase 3, which would be towards the end of the training that the department gives new officers.
And when you say you went there with him, does that mean you share a vehicle? You
Yes.
go in pairs? What does that look like?
At that point, on that phase, I was the driver of the vehicle, and he was sitting in the passenger seat in the front.
And do you know about what time you arrived?
I think it was approximately 2:24.
And well, first of all, which direction are you coming from?
I was coming from Ruddle Road, so I was going to be traveling eastbound on Mullen Road.
And what did you observe when you arrived?
I observed moderate to heavy traffic. It appeared that school had just let out. There's the high school on the left-hand side of the road if you're going eastbound, and then there's another elementary school farther down the road. So there's a lot of cars coming and going from that area, school buses, things like that.
When you say another elementary school, is that on the left-hand side of the road or the right-hand side?
It would be the right-hand side of the road.
Okay, so across the street and a little bit farther down from the high school, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So you said you observed medium to heavy traffic in the area due to school ending and those two schools. Is there anything that specifically drew your attention as you were arriving?
Yes, there was a group of people standing on the sidewalk on the Timberline sides at the left-hand side of where I was facing.
Okay, and where, were there any markers or landmarks, so to speak, on that left-hand side of the road where you saw that group? Something to orient the
Yes,
jury to?
so there was the intercity transit bus stop at that location, and then just east of that is the entrance to the school's
Okay.
parking lot.
And where did you see that group of people in relation to that intercity transit bus stop?
They were roughly gathered around where that bus stop pole is.
You said where the pole is?
Yes.
Okay. And were there any other officers on scene yet at that time?
Yes, I did. I saw one other officer.
Do you know who that officer was?
Officer Hang.
Where did you see Officer Hang?
He was in the like bark or dirt part of the school grounds. He was bent over or kneeling and holding somebody down.
Okay. Were there any other individuals with Officer Hang?
There was an adult male.
And was that adult male an officer or a civilian?
He looked to be a civilian.
Okay. And you said they were holding someone down. Was the person they were holding down an adult, a child, or something else?
Appeared to be an adult.
Adult, male or female?
Male.
And was that person an officer or a civilian?
It was a civilian.
And you said there were a crowd of people there. How would you describe that crowd of people? Is that were those adults, children, or something else?
They appear to be primarily high schoolers.
Okay. What did you do next as you were arriving? Where'd you go?
I pulled my vehicle into the left turn lane to go into Timberline High School. I had my red and blue lights on. I exited my vehicle and approached to where Officer Hang was kneeling on the ground. And then at that point, we asked what he needed to assist him.
Okay. And what was your duty then in terms of assisting?
I was to gather the witness statements from anybody that had seen what had occurred prior to my arrival.
Okay. And where did you do that?
I did that at the intercity bus stop.
Okay. And who were you gathering witness statements from?
I got their names.
Well, I'll get there.
Okay.
Who were you getting witness statements
I
from?
was getting witness statements from the high schoolers that were at the bus stop.
And do you remember specifically who you spoke with at the bus stop? Where or when did you speak with Ms. Carter?
I first approached the teenagers that had stated that they had seen what happened.
And again, without repeating anything anyone told you, where or when did you speak with Ms. Carter?
When I initially made contact at the bus stop.
Did she provide you a statement at that time?
She did not know.
Okay. Was there a bus coming at that point?
She stated that she needed to catch a bus. Yes, I did not see one at the time.
Okay. And did you get her information to take a later statement?
I did, yes.
Okay. At some point during your investigation, well, let me back up. At any point during your interaction or your time on scene, did you come in contact with anyone by the name? What about Hanine Ali? No contact.
That would be in the parking lot proper of the Timberline High School.
Was that before or after you made contact with? And when you observed Zara and Hanine Ali, how would you identify how they appeared in terms of what they were wearing? I mean, who was wearing what?
Hanine was wearing I believe it's a headscarf called a hijab. She was wearing a black, like raincoat or overcoat, a blue button-up shirt, and black pants.
Okay, and what was Zara wearing?
She was also wearing a hijab, and a long, ankle-length, like overcoat, something that was black, with some sort of leopard print dress or long covering underneath.
At some point during your investigation, did you become familiar with the name of? Okay. At what point of your investigation do you recall you became aware of Fatima Ali?
Well, when I spoke with Hanine and Zara, they had mentioned their daughter.
Okay. And were you able to determine based on a conversation with Zara who Fatima was in relation to Zara?
Yes.
And who was Fatima in relation to Zara?
Zara said it was her daughter.
Were you able to determine what the, were you aware at some point of anyone by the name of, based on your conversation with Zara, was any connection between Isaiah and Fatima?
Yes.
What was that connection?
My understanding was that Isaiah was Fatima's boyfriend.
Do you recall during the course of your conversation with Zara Ali, whether she made any statements about Isaiah specifically?
Yes.
And what did she say about Isaiah as it related to her daughter?
She stated to me that Isaiah was changing her daughter's mind, and that he was a danger to her.
And were you speaking during the time that you had contact with Isaiah, or excuse me, with Zara and Hanine? Were you speaking to both women, just Hanine, Zara, or something else?
I was speaking to both.
And was Hanine relaying to you what she believed had occurred that day as well?
Yes,
And was that conversation with you in English?
it was.
And during your interaction with Hanine, did Zara provide details?
She did.
What did that look like? Meaning, did they speak individually? Did they provide a group statement? What did that interaction between Hanine, Zara, and you look like in terms of pace or smoothness of that conversation?
It was relatively choppy. When I would direct questions at Hanine, Zara would interject, or they would start talking over each other, so it was a little difficult to follow at times. When I would ask clarifying questions, Zara would often interject with her recollection of events.
Okay. And was that communication with you, from Zara with you also in English?
It was.
During the course of your interaction with Zara Ali, did she indicate to you whether she had observed Isaiah punching her husband?
She did.
Did she indicate what that looked like?
She made gestures with one of her arms in a punching motion, or like a rapid punching motion.
Okay. So what did she say about her observations of Isaiah punching her husband?
She said when she arrived, she saw Isaiah hitting her husband.
And did she indicate if her husband was on the ground at that time?
She did not.
And did you ask them to clarify where they were when they made the observations about Zara hitting her husband?
I did.
And what was the response?
The response was both of them answered at the same time. Hanine stated that.
Without introducing what Hanine said, please.
Okay. Zara made a gesture based off where she was standing towards the school and was saying that they fled in that direction. They being Fatima and Isaiah.
How did Zara appear to you when describing what was happening, which she said she observed happening to her husband when she arrived?
She was upset. She would pace back and forth. Her hands would either be clasped in front of her or wringing her hands. She would break down in sobs occasionally, but I'd never observed any tears or reddening of her face or anything like that.
Okay. Did you, did Zara make any statements about what she believed or what she was relaying Isaiah had done to her?
Yes.
Did you observe any visible injuries to either woman, either Hanine or Zara?
I did not.
How did their clothing appear to you, meaning what condition or state was their clothing in?
It did not appear disheveled. I didn't notice any marks of dirt, smudges, creases, anything like that.
When you, at some point during your interaction with Zara and Hanine, did you give them any instructions or directives about where they could go or what they could do while on the scene?
I did, yes.
And how would you describe their responsiveness to those directives?
At times they appeared not to hear what was said, or they were slow to respond in the affirmative of not doing what I asked or doing what I asked.
Okay. And so during the course of the time, was there any request from Zara to speak with her husband?
Yes.
Okay. Was she immediately allowed to do that?
No, she was not.
And what did that interaction look like? How would you describe that period of your interaction with Zara?
She became upset. She continually repeated that she just wanted to speak to her husband, and began kind of pacing around or trying to move past where myself and other officers were standing at the time.
And did other officers have to intervene to stop her from going to her husband?
Yes.
What was Hanine doing during this period of time without repeating anything that she was saying?
She was following Zara.
How would you describe her demeanor?
She was also upset. She was slightly more calm in her tone and pitch when she was speaking with me, but she was visibly also upset.
And when you say upset, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean by upset? I know that is a general term, but what does that look like?
Her voice would raise in pitch. She would kind of sob, speak rapidly, breathe rapidly, pace around.
Did they continue to try to get to Isan Ali despite officers' instructions?
Yes.
Did you eventually allow Zara to speak with Isan?
Yes.
And what about Hanine?
She as well.
And did you hear any of that conversation?
I heard the conversation, but I did not understand it.
What do you mean?
It was not in English.
During the course of your interaction with Zara Ali, did she ever ask you about the health or welfare of Fatima?
She did not.
Did she ask you about Fatima at all?
She asked to speak with her.
And just speak with her?
Yes.
At any point, did you observe whether Zara ever attempted to return to the school?
Yes.
And what, if anything, did she say about that?
She says that she wanted to speak with her daughter.
For how long?
Initially, she just repeated, I want to speak with my daughter, she's my daughter. And then when I repeatedly told her that she was not allowed to do so, she said she just needed 1 minute.
What was her initial response when you told her that she could not do that?
She became upset. Eventually, she went and took a seat on one of the curbs where the parking stalls were and began rocking back and forth and repeating a phrase I didn't understand.
I'm sorry, repeating what?
A phrase that I didn't understand what she was saying.
Okay. Did you tell her whether she was being seen by fire or medics?
Yes.
And at that point, did she ask about the physical condition of her child, like whether she was okay?
She did not.
Officer Chavez, how did you find out that Fatima had been choked or strangled by Isan?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for legal conclusion. Well, it also calls for hearsay. Yeah, hearsay.
Sustained is the form of the question.
Officer Chavez, at any point during your interaction with Zara Ali, did she mention her husband's interactions with her child?
No.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Kading, cross-examination.
Just a few questions. Good morning, officer.
Good morning, sir.
So, when you arrived on scene, Mr. Ali was laying on the ground, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And is it fair to say then that by the time you got there, pretty much the entire incident up to that point, you got from other people, right?
Correct.
Okay. And the people that you talked to were the kids that were around there, right?
Correct.
All right. And now, I think it might have been you. Let me ask, was it you that tried to get the written statements from those kids?
That's correct.
Okay, and you didn't have any forms?
That's correct.
Okay, so you never got any written statements?
That's correct.
Okay. And you, at that point, things were pretty fresh. I assume you hadn't seen any videos or anything?
I had not. No.
Okay, so all the information that you were going on was based upon what people were telling you?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. No more.
Mr. Leary, cross-examination.
Morning, Officer Chavez.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for being here. All right, so if I understand correctly, you get dispatched to this call?
Correct.
Do you recall how long it took you to get there?
Maybe 10 minutes?
And you were roughly the second officer that you saw on the scene?
Correct.
And Officer Hung had Mr. Ali detained on the ground, correct?
Correct.
And you walked up and said, basically, what do I need to do?
Hmm. That's correct.
And that's kind of typical protocol, right?
Correct.
See if there's what the other officer needs. If he had needed assistance, you would have provided it, fair?
Correct.
But he didn't ask you to help, correct?
Correct.
And so you saw students standing around, and logically it then made sense to talk and find out who knew what
Correct.
and get their information.
Correct.
Did you separate the students to talk to them individually?
I did not know.
Okay, so they're all talking in a semicircle around you,
Correct.
and you're taking notes?
Correct.
And you also have your body-worn video activated, is that fair?
That's
And is
correct.
it on throughout the entire process?
It is.
Did you review that prior to testifying today?
I did.
Okay. And that's what it's for, right?
Correct.
And so, did you have concerns about kind of witnesses hearing what other witnesses said and having it impact their observations and ability to provide independent descriptions?
In the moment, no.
Okay. How about later?
Well, now that I'm no longer in training, I could see the benefit to trying to separate or isolate each individual witness, yes.
And what benefit would you see by having people separate?
Making sure that the witnesses aren't borrowing words from other witnesses.
Okay. And so, understanding the timeline, so you arrive, you see a fellow officer, you see Mr. Ali, correct?
Correct.
You do not see Zara Ali initially, correct?
No, I did not.
And so you're taking time, do you recall how long it was you were talking to Kayla Fisk, Eric Price Jr., Athena Rich, and Zayla Carter?
No, I don't recall how long I was.
But you
speaking
were
with
kind of talking to them at the same time sequentially. This is a large conversation, correct?
Correct, yes.
And it wasn't a brief conversation, correct?
Correct.
And you'd also gone back to your patrol car to see if you had witness forms, and you didn't have them, correct?
Correct.
All right, so then you come back. At one point, Zayla Carter says, hey, I gotta go catch my bus. And you may have indicated that you would follow up with her, or
Correct.
somebody would, correct?
Correct.
All right, so then you then see Zara Ali and Hanine Ali coming back from the school, correct?
No.
Okay, you didn't know where they came from, fair?
Well, correct, yes.
So you didn't see him initially, but after this passage of time, you then have interaction with Zara and Hanine, correct?
Correct.
And at this point, you had not had contact with Fatima Ali, correct?
Correct.
And did you say that you did see her at the school?
I did not know.
Okay, so at no point did you see her at the school?
I did not know.
So that's affirmative?
Correct.
Okay, I just, for the purposes of the court report, I want to make sure we're on the same
Yes, sir.
page. All right, and so you subsequently learned that there was an incident, that the reason for the call was an interaction with Fatima Ali, correct?
Correct.
And that's what you were there talking about and investigating, correct? And so after this passage of time, your attention is then drawn to Zara Ali, correct?
Correct.
All right. And you described her as upset, correct?
Correct.
And so emotionally upset. Just by looking at her, you could tell that something was going on, correct?
Correct.
And that she was pacing back and forth, correct?
Correct.
Wringing her hands, correct?
Correct.
And sobbing.
Correct.
Okay. And I think you didn't see actual tears, but in terms of kind of somebody who is very distraught. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So she had asked to see her daughter. And so did you know from other officers or from some other source as to where Fatima was?
Yes.
And that was, in your understanding, at the school, correct?
Correct.
All right. And so she asked you for permission. Hey, can I go back to the school to see my daughter? And did you check with others or did you just tell her no?
I told her she was not allowed to at this time.
Okay. And so when she heard that, she was so upset, she then sat down on a curb, started rocking back and forth. Is that what you described?
Correct.
Okay. So then at some point, she is asking to talk with her husband, correct? And he is detained at this point with other officers, correct?
Correct.
And there were multiple officers who were talking to her about whether she could talk with her husband, correct?
Correct.
And you heard those conversations?
Correct.
And there was a discussion to her like, at some point, yes, we will let you talk with your husband, but just not right now, right?
Correct.
Okay. And she continued to be very upset as to what was happening and what was going on, correct?
Correct.
You did not take a statement from her, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't sit down and say, hey, I want to interview you, I want to get the facts as to what happened, correct?
Correct.
All right. And so the statement, like, she didn't describe her husband's interactions with their daughter, Fatima, that you didn't ask her, I want you to tell me what happened, what led up to this, correct?
Correct.
All right. So your interactions with her were primarily, hey, can I go see my daughter, which you said no, correct?
Correct.
Can I see my husband? And you said no, correct?
Correct.
And then her kind of continued grief as to everything that appeared to be going on. Is that fair?
Sounds correct.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Redirect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Chavez,
Yes, ma'am.
you indicated that you took those statements and you reviewed that prior to today. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And when you took those statements from Caleb Fish, statements all exactly the same.
The majority of it was the same, but each one would add a little bit of a different take on it.
Is it fair to say based on their own vantage point?
I would say so.
When you, how long, if you know, how long would you estimate your contact was with Zara during the course of your time on scene?
I would say no less than 15 minutes
Collectively?
collective.
Okay. And during the course of that, did she provide you a statement? Meaning, did she come to give you a statement?
Sustained.
During the course of your time with her, did she voluntarily speak with you?
Yes.
Sustained.
During the course of the time that you interacted with her, did she attempt to give you details about the events? It's about Zara Ali.
I understand that. Members of the jury, it is 10:28, and so we are at time for our morning recess. I will tell you that we do anticipate that this is longer than a 15-minute recess, 20, maybe 30, hopefully 20, but longer than 15 minutes, and then we'll have you back in. Thank you so much for your time and attention. step down. We'll have you back on the stand after our break, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Did I exit?
Yes, not that door, that, thank you. Mr. Larry, go ahead and make your objection, please.
Your Honor, objection as to commenting on, my client has a right not to say anything, and the fact that she didn't freely offer additional information is shifting the burden to her and infringing our Fifth Amendment right, and also rights under the court rules.
Thank you. Ms. Stone?
Your Honor, that's not accurate. Miss Ali, Zara Ali specifically approached with Hanine Ali because they wanted law enforcement to know what their position was. Those statements have already come in. They were not in custody. They're not custodial statements. Notably, the case law also is very clear that the state can identify when statements are made, that right to not speak has been waived, and what has not said is equally as important as what is said. So there is no basis for the objection in either what has occurred in terms of the testimony here, in fact, or in case law to support that.
Mr. Leary? Right. So, Ms. Stone, since we're going to have a break, my understanding of the law is consistent with what Mr. Leary just argued as it relates to Ms. Ali's right to remain silent, and the fact that she remains silent ultimately cannot be used against her during the trial. If you have a case that you would like to refer me to, you don't have to give it to me the second. You can look for that. I certainly would like to review additional authority, as you indicated that there is. And once we take our recess, you can provide that information. I know also the parties will be discussing the video as well. So we'll take a 15-minute recess, and then we will reconvene. And we'll first discuss the video when we reconvene, and then if there's additional authority, I will take it at that time and take a brief recess to review that before I ultimately rule on the objection. The court will be in recess for 15 minutes. Thank you.
All rise. Court's in recess.